So, have you ever built a cosplay suit or armor, Iron Man armor, whatever, and you look at it and it's so cool, yet you don't have a way to actually wear it? Well, hopefully this video today will help you get this thing actually on your body. Hello everyone, my name is Kira Creates. If you've watched me before, welcome back to the channel and another fun episode of Let's Build Another Iron Man Suit Before I Completely Lose My Freaking Mind. Where today, hopefully I'm going to be able to help you put on your Iron Man armor, cosplay armor, whatever that you 3D printed out and put all this effort into. Now before we get started, of course I gotta go over that this entire series is sponsored by Dio3D and Polymaker. So huge shout out to them for making this entire series possible, as well as a newcomer to the batch, Print Costume. Well, not newcomer for a channel, they're like one of the original people I've been working with for years, but now they're joining the project, so that's pretty cool. Stay tuned for a video of what to wear underneath this guy. And I don't know why I'm holding up this leg. I stole this from an Air Force veteran.
Alright, now I'm pissed.
But making a harness for your cosplay armor, whether it's made out of foam, 3D printed, however you made it, is actually very simple. It's not that complicated. You just gotta kind of think about like where you're putting things, how you want things to hook up to your body, and just, it's actually not that hard, trust me. So I'm gonna be showing you guys start to finish how to make a basic cosplay harness and to mount all your parts both together, like with each other, and to your actual body. Now hopefully this video goes by pretty quickly because it's not really that difficult and there's not a whole lot, because I'm really only going to be using 4 different components here. But remember, if you like this video and find this informative, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, cosplay reviews, and all that other fun stuff, because I think I do some pretty neat stuff and hopefully I don't knock you over. And with all that yapping being done with, let's actually get into how to actually make this. Okay, it's 8 o'clock at night. This is a little ridiculous. Like I said, I'm only gonna be using like 4 materials for this entire harness. It's like very easy, very simple to do. So first of all, you're gonna need your 2 main components here. Your actual strapping that you're gonna be using to like make the harness itself, and buckles, so that way you can connect all the pieces together, like, you know. Well, I kind of lied. There's like a 5th thing in here, but it's really very simple. It'll go by very quick, which is just some bar magnets I got. I'll go over that later. But as of right now, the 2 main materials is the strapping and the buckles, and the 2 other things that you're going to need, again, not counting the magnets, is just the scissors and a hot glue gun. And if you want to count the hot glue itself as an extra item, you can count it as 6 items. So yeah, 6 items, I guess, if you want to be technical. And guess what? I lied to you again. There's actually 7 because I keep coming up with these things at the top of my head. But again, I will go over the 7th item later. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't know what it's called, but when I get there, I'll probably know. But I'm probably not going to go over it right now at the time of filming this because it's late at night and I have things to edit. So I'm going to let that be tomorrow Kira's problem. So yeah, tomorrow Kira, take over for me, please. Hello everybody, this is Past Kira here, and I have been on a Skyrim binge, so that's like my entire personality right now. So let's get to doing this before my sweet rolls get cold. Here's about how it'll look when I get it done. It's still a little bit janky, but it'll be more refined when it's done, like mostly the elbow joint here with the bicep. Because I'm honestly debating on just joining that later on. I don't know, but for right now, I have it harnessed on. Yeah, so this is, so the bicep separate, the shoulder piece is separate, elbow, and the forearm here. So it should move just like that. It's got decent motion. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. So it works. So let's get to making another one. All right, so we got our 4 pieces here, and let's just... Man, I dropped that like I saw a copy of the Lusty Argonian Maid. We got the bicep here, so first off, we're going to be seeing how these pieces align. Now, usually I have a picture of like the render from Dio3D up, which is what I did for that arm. But since I already did it, I already have a nice understanding of that, but when you're doing it yourself, highly suggest having picture references so that way you're making sure you're doing it right. So how the Mark 40 is set up, it's kind of weird with how the arms are. So there's no like actual like joining piece and no like clear-cut way to like join them that looks great, because this is the top of the elbow and this is the back of the bicep where these two guys meet. And as you can see here, that's about how it's supposed to sit, and you can see it's weird. The arms on the suit are very weird, but I think that's just the actual suit design itself. Dio3D did a pretty good job with translating this whole thing. So that'll go like that, and then this should go something like this. You can see it's a little more wonky there, but once it's all joined up, it's whatever. So what you need is your handy dandy cosplay hot glue gun. Yes, this stuff is fantastic. I'm sure I already talked about this because I haven't even filmed the first part when I did this. So, this is just my insanity at play. So anyway, we're gonna take our bag of buckles I have just chilling out here in this absolute freaking pigsty. Yeah, and then we're just gonna take our bag of buckles I have just laying here in this absolute forker's nest. Oh god, they're going everywhere. Yeah, these are our buckles. You can see they buckle. I don't know what else to say about that. They buckle like that. It's pretty neat. And so we're going to be starting off from the bicep on down, then we're going to focus on the shoulder last. Let's take our nylon strap and just cut a bit of a piece here. Don't need something that long, but don't want to make it too short either, because the sizes will basically become halved. So the side I want to go down to the bicep, which is going to be one of these sides, I want to do this buckle here so that way I can take this and just insert it. It doesn't really matter. I'm just too OCD for my own good. So what we're going to do is just loop it through the hole there and then just go perfectly symmetrical. This is super easy to do on these guys. This is basically how you want it, just like sandwiched over. And what we're going to be doing is taking our hot glue and then just gluing this piece together, making it join. Don't need a whole lot, and just boop. And just a side note, you don't need to set this guy at high. I just have it set up low because I already skinned myself doing this. So yeah, now that's glued together. Now we're going to basically take this into our bicep. I'm just going to use this as reference. So I'm going to be gluing this guy to the back of the bicep here because that's where I'm going to connect up the elbow. And just going to put it in like that. It's hard to see, but it's pretty straightforward to figure out. So now that I figure out where I'm going to put that, I'm just going to pour a good amount of hot glue into the spot I want to put this. You could dump as much as you want in here, honestly. It depends on how much you want to conserve. I'm just going to put a generous amount and just stick it in and just hold it there, and it should set pretty quickly. So yeah, that's in there now. So I'm just going to put some more hot glue around here just to secure that guy in there like this. I don't know how well you can see this, but we are going with it anyway because F it, we ball. Okay, I think that's glued down enough, so that's gonna go ahead and cool down and dry. And so basically that's the whole concept of this. It's basically all about just hot gluing, positioning, eyeballing the measurement of your straps, because you really don't need to be precise about this at all. Like, it's basically just good enough works. So how I'm going to be doing the elbow part is I'm going to be cutting a much longer piece on because I kind of want the dangle to give me some more wiggle room so that way I can move it a little more. And we're just going to take a longer piece like that and just cut it, because remember, it's going to be cut in half with the length when we fold it over. And now I'm just gonna unbuckle the other side out of here. I just left it in there so I don't lose it because I've been losing literally everything lately. And just do the same thing that we did on the other one. Just, this is a longer piece. Just fold it in half. Once it's looped through the buckle here, I put it through the bottom one, not the top one. Probably doesn't matter too much, but I feel like it might restrict. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I don't feel like trying it because it's not important enough for me to try it. And just do some glue at the bottom of this to hold this piece together with the other one. And so now I'm going to actually buckle this guy back into the bicep here, so that way it can help me figure out how I'm going to set the elbow on here. So this makes this a lot easier because the elbow is kind of out in the open. There's nothing like covering it. So you can go ahead and just stick it on there, put it in about the position that it should be at, like basically right here. And I just need to see quickly where this should go. Again, this does not need to be exact. And half-butted way holding the pieces together, you can see that it should go like around the middle of the elbow here. Okay, well, above the middle of the elbow, because we are only gluing down the very end of it just to help with range of motion and to help it like move around a bit. So just throw some glue in that area, in that little cubby here, that and then we just gotta throw our strap on here, and then bada bing bada boom. And if you need to, if you didn't get it in position the first time, you can push it up with your thumb. Just be aware that your thumb might go into the glue, but luckily when you have the glue at low, it's not really hot enough to really hurt you. So just keep that in mind. If you're gonna go on hot settings, do not touch the glue. Now I did kind of mess it up a little bit, like you can see like it's not quite there. I can easily fix that just by ripping it out, so let's go ahead and do that. Boom, didn't really adhere very well anyway, so that's cool. And I just gotta dump a bit more hot glue in here and fix that. So that was a perfect example of just not fretting over when you make a mistake, because these will happen, and you saw it just happen to me on camera. And you can see that this is super easy to fix, so let's fix it. I went ahead and fixed it, so I'm just going to dump some hot glue in the area there just to help hold it on, and then this should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do this quick, and then I will see you back when I'm ready to show you how I do the shoulders. Alrighty, so I got the arm done. It wasn't that painful, it kind of was. I ended up readjusting this again to make it a bit higher, and now it's sitting about where I want it to. So yeah, we're good there. But the forearm is definitely a bit harder to get aligned because, again, this is a weird design, so there was nothing that would like sit on this properly or like line up and just kind of like sit there for me. So I ended up eyeballing this one, but I actually did something a bit different on the first one, which I actually used a different hot glue, which I don't know where to oh, there it is. I used a different and weaker hot glue to kind of hold the pieces together in place. That way it would just stay there and I could glue it precisely to where I wanted it. Now that's if you're willing to use some extra hot glue. You could also use tape for that, but it doesn't really work as well. And plus there is a bit of annoyance of keeping it there in place, praying to God the glue dries within the next 30 seconds, or else it slides a little bit and then it just all falls apart before it's even dry. It's just, I don't want to talk about it anymore. So now we're going to be doing the shoulders, which just is super simple to do. I got my little fidget toys here, aka my industrial grade I got my fidget toys here, aka my industrial grade lanyards that pulls like, I forget how many pounds this is rated. But we're going to be using 2 of these guys in here. So this is what's going to allow me to put on the arms by myself by just pulling this from the shoulder and just buckling the arm and just sliding the arm up on me, and it's good. I learned this trick from Plentiful Props 3D, so he has like taught me like almost everything at this point with like his videos and suits. So yeah, if you aren't subscribed to him already, you should. But I forgot to take these little guys off the ring, so I just gotta get those little guys off. Alright, now that we got those guys off, we're just going to need these 2 little key rings here, which we're going to loop through the buckle. Just like this, just bend it out with your fingers and stuff. It kind of sucks. Oh crap. So basically you just take your fingernail and just kind of pull it out, and hopefully God it doesn't hurt you. I don't recommend using your fingernail, but in this case this is kind of how I have to do it. These kind of suck, but just spin it in once you got it open and then boom. And just repeat the same thing for the second one. Are you all having fun yet? Because I know I'm having fun. Alright, now we have the buckle in there and you can see how that action is going to be. So now we're just going to glue these guys into the shoulder. So word of advice, you do not want to glue in the lanyards too low, or else the arm may not come up the whole way and may not sit right, whatever. I did that on the first one, realized my mistake, and then like moved it up, which was a bit of a pain to do with how the glue was on there because this is some super strong hot glue. A little tip that I learned from Drop Wire from Crashworks 3D, isopropyl alcohol, like 70% or higher. Pour that in there and it will take up any hot glue just like that. Just wait for like 10 seconds and you should be able to pull it right up and it should all peel up nicely. It is a little bit harder with the Cosplay hot glue, but for something simple like this Gorilla hot glue, this takes it right off, but that also really does help with this. So I'm just gonna dump a bunch of hot glue on the flat side here because this side is a bit more textured. So just keep that in mind if that helps you at all with your gluing expeditions. And so I just got a nice glob on there. And so I am just gonna place this, so the shoulder's gonna sit like that. So I wanna place it more like up here-ish, like above this like thick line right here. So put it up here. That should be perfectly fine. It's not going to stick on there perfectly because it's a rounded surface, so I'm just going to hold it on there like that, and I'm just going to go ahead and dump some more hot glue around the edges and all that just to make sure it's in there nice and secure. Because once it's in here, it is not coming out unless you rip it out and you use the isopropyl method. Yeah, that's one down. I'm just going to do one on that side, and that's pretty much done. And then I will show you everything together. Alrighty, and we got it all done. Woohoo! I've been doing so much gluing at this point. It's maddening. But yeah, we got it done. So you can basically see how the mechanism works. It'll slide out, boop, ba-doop. You get the idea. I did forget to mention I did have to make one more small strap and then glue that down. Whatever. But yeah, it looks like it rides up really high, but once it's actually like on something or whatever, it's not going to actually sit like this. So this is kind of how it's resting. It's fine. It's perfectly cool. The arms pretty much are done. So yeah, let's move to whatever's next. I don't know what's going on anymore. All right, and here's the harness I made. So I actually did film me making the harness, but the footage is lost. I've been trying to look for it, but I can't find it. So for right now, I'm just filming this. This is the harness. It is very simplistic and kind of archaic, but hey, all that matters is that it works. So I actually noticed a mistake that I made on the harness where, as you can see, this one is like upside down and it's causing this to twist around compared to like these guys that are correct. So I gotta actually fix that one. I've just been too lazy to do it because I've been getting the harness to work just fine, but that's just bothering me, which I will show you as a demonstration how I attached all of these parts together. So the only purpose of this harness was actually buckle my legs in, so that way my legs were a bit suspended because the legs are slightly shorter than my actual legs, but they do help me with mobility. And with how the abs are set up in the suit, I couldn't make an integrated harness system for the legs like I did in the Mark 42, so I had to make my own harness. So hit the buckle for the leg here. It's very simple. I did everything here very similarly to how I did the other buckles in the suit, where I just took some straps, I hot glued it together at a point like right here. That's a point I hot glued it at, and that's the only point I did hot glue. I did actually hot glue the ends of the harness pieces I cut off because they would get stringy, so I would hot glue the edges so that way the threads wouldn't come undone, it would look ugly, and then become a big mess. So pro tip for when you're cutting nylon stuff, you might want to glue or cauterize the edges. And same with all these straps that go around my back and my chest. These are just glued to a belt piece, which all this is just like a strap with a couple buckles, and it has an adjustable part here in case I get a little too thick. It's very easy to adjust, and it just buckles in like this around my waist, and then boom, waist is secure. And then part of the leg harness here, these are attached with a loop to the belt. So these are in between the two straps that connect here. So these two guys are what are on my back, and these two guys are what come around the front that go across my chest and my stomach. So this guy just floats between the back and the front here, and it doesn't cause an issue, and it allows for easy attachment to just kind of have this here. And the final component here is this X piece, which what this guy does is it helps keep the straps in an X pattern, so that way when it loops around my back, the straps make an X, and go across my shoulders that way. The straps overlap here in the back, which basically causes the straps to make an X, so it goes like this and wraps around my shoulders. Now, why that's important is because on the Mark 42, I did not do an X with the straps at first, and that caused the straps to come off of my shoulders while I was wearing it, and it was just causing annoyances and issues. The straps were falling out of the shoulder, and the straps were causing my abs to come out of alignment. It was just not fun. Yeah, I fixed that by making this an X, that way these guys do not come off my shoulders, which is something I implore you to do if you make a harness. Now here I'm showing you how I have it on. This is in my more general overview of all my harnessing systems in that video, so go check that out once that's out, or if it's already out. But the straps are kind of twisted in it. I don't really care as long as it works, but if you want to beautify it, please go ahead, take the extra time and make it pretty, but you're not going to see it underneath the armor. It's literally just there to hold up the legs, and it is completely hidden. But in order to give you an idea of how I put the straps on, I'm actually just going to tear this one off here and fix it. So let's get this guy straightened out again. And now I'm ready to fix this guy. I'm just going to look at this strap here and just see what I did on the other side. Make it look about identical, which it does. So I'm just going to place it. That's about where I had it. Now, a lot of this, when I was initially making it, I did have to eyeball, and I did start hot gluing it while I had it on. So please, do not hot glue things while it's on your body. Don't do what I did, and do something smart. So when you have it on your body, just make marks with a marker on the straps of where you want to glue it at, instead of just gluing it. I don't think I had a marker at the time. I didn't feel like getting one. So I just went ahead and did it on my body. That was not fun. Do not do that, please. Now let's go ahead, glue this guy. Just add a good amount here. Now this is a high temperature hot glue gun by Surebonder, so I'm trying to avoid touching the glue because that would hurt a lot. And I'm just gonna wait for that to cool, and I'm gonna add some more glue to the back here because like it's not completely fully contacted here. So I want to make sure this is 100% making contact, because if it's not fully glued down, it may come off while I'm wearing it and it may fail. Now because of how I did it and I don't know how to sew, I wasn't able to sew these on, which I highly recommend you sew these on instead of gluing it. I just kind of did this because again, I don't know how to sew yet, but I'm actually going to do another thing here. I'm actually going to reinforce these guys with duct tape, which you can see here. And I'm just going to wrap these guys around so that way it helps keep them together while I'm wearing it, and it prevents any type of possible failure in the future, or at least helps reduce the chance of that happening, even though I haven't had that happen. Alright, now that I have this guy fixed up, let's go ahead and reinforce this. And trust me, this duct tape has definitely not been involved in any shenanigans at KatsuCon 2025. I guarantee it. So I'm just kind of half-butt wrap this around the harness here. Again, I don't really care about how it looks as long as it is on there and it gets pretty much the job done. All that matters here. Like I said, half-butt job. I'm reinforcing the straps here. This looks absolutely horrible, but I really don't care as long as it works. Yeah, that's basically the harness. I'm going to quickly show you how I did the legs and how they're split in half, and then we're going to wrap up the video. So let's go ahead and get to the legs. Now for the fantastical, scrumptious thighs, legs. So like I mentioned, these guys actually do split in two pieces, both the shins and the thighs. It's mostly for easier transport. I was also going to make a system similar to Plentiful Props for like the thighs moving around, so that would help my mobility. But I kind of ran out of time to kind of engineer my own solution to it, and so I just decided to combine it just normally until like maybe one day I decide to do it. I probably won't because I have really good maneuverability as it is, so I don't really need to worry about it. But how I have this combined, I just have it on elastic on the top, so allow me to undo the elastic just to kind of show you how that goes. One elastic piece here, and then one elastic piece on the inside of the thigh here. And go ahead and pull that out a little bit. And then I actually have two buckles on the inside of here, which I did show in the other video. Again, I don't know if that's coming up before or after this one. Probably after, since this one's a little more in depth and that one's a general overview. Yep, pulling that guy out here. This is the front part of the thigh. So you can see back here a lot better the two Velcro strips, one right here and then one right here, and then the two buckles that connect the bottom of the thigh piece here. And in order to keep everything in place without it sliding around when I'm walking around or like coming out of place, I have these two joint pieces here by Plentiful Props here. I turn these into tracks. You can see this one maybe a little bit better. So basically what these do is that these guys slide right into place here. They kind of just lock the piece in position so that way it doesn't really move like side to side or anything like that. It stays in one spot. So I just attached those with more hot glue. I didn't do anything fancy here. I didn't do any modifications to the files. I literally just slapped them in there. Boom, there I go. And then here's the other side of the buckles inside of the thigh here. And then here's the elastic. Now speaking of the thighs, I'm also using Pumpful Props' joints here, which I got rid of the double joint mechanism here. I turned into a single joint because on the Mark 42, the leg kept coming out of alignment every time I walked. So I switched these guys over to single joint. They work great and they keep it in place as well as allow me to move a lot easier and keeps the whole leg together because I can actually put the legs on in one piece. So I can just slide the whole thing on my body. It's really cool. But yeah, going to the shin here and how I did that, I did it very similarly to the thigh here. So it's just attached by some elastic, 4 pieces. Let's get one side off here. I have another piece around here. There it is. Get that guy removed. There we go. And then I'll just peel the other side off here, or not. And just yoink. And then one more piece down here at the very bottom of the shin. So yeah, this is how this guy comes off and on. So like I said, it is 2 pieces of Velcro, and then I have 2 bar magnets hot glued in that help align it and keep it in place while I Velcro it so that way, again, everything stays in place. And also the bar magnets also help prevent these guys from subducting. So what I mean by subducting is like when this guy slides around and it would accidentally like slip inside like that. Yeah, so the bar magnets here kind of help with that since they like kind of extend how thick the piece is. So it kind of prevents that and prevents it from like fully sliding in, and the Velcro just keeps it in and keeps it more secure. I've never had this fail on me, and it's never even come close to failing, so I'm pretty happy with how I did it. It's very simplistic, but it works very, very well. Like I said, it's the same on both sides of the legs, and if I need to ever go into here and have like any modifications to be done on like any systems, like the joint systems, or how I have these combined, or if I just need to make a repair, if like something split, like say like I have a layer line crack like across here, I can easily just take these guys apart, and then I can go in there with my soldering iron and fix it very easily. So this is a great system, and it will also help me if I ever decide to get 2 suitcases, if I want to fly with the suit out to like WonderCon or something. This should help me pack everything down and condense everything a little more rather than having this big round thing. I can split these guys in half and then put them inside of each other, and then boom, I'm ready to fly and everything's a lot more compact. So this really does help, as well as this. So yeah, it's pretty much how the leg system is. I hope this is definitely more in-depth than the general overview, but again, there's so much more stuff to cover in the overview. I'm not even going to go over how the chest mechanism works because it is mounted to magnets, and I go over that in that video. So yeah, that's just pretty much how this goes. And yeah, I think with all that being said, I think you got a general idea of how I did a lot of my mounting systems. Oh wait, I just realized something. So here's a little bonus content. I forgot to tell you how I did the hands. There we go. But yeah, the hands are very interesting. So this is very bog standard. You've probably seen it before, Iron Man hand. So basically I just have elastic pieces here in the fingers. That's just very simple. It works, and I don't never have any problems with it. So yeah, just elastic in the fingers, which I show you probably in a couple videos. I know I did it in my murder drones video, which I'm going to be working on here eventually. And I also showed you how to do it in my Yang arm tutorial video. So if you want to go check that out for how I did elastic in the fingers. And I actually did something interesting. So I wanted to keep the hands on the arms, so that way I was able to slide the entire arm on with the hand on it in one go when I put on the suit, and it works very well. What I did was very simple. I took one strap and I just glued it into the back of the hand here. I didn't really do anything special to it. I just folded it, overlapped it, so I could have put a buckle in here. And on the inside of the forearm here, I have another buckle that's strapped in. So basically these just plug into each other, and then the hands are fully connected to each other. So this is honestly a really cool system. It's very simple, and it helps get things on so much quicker. And it also allows me to have these hang off the armor when it's on the armor stand. So yeah, that's also really nice. But yeah, now I think I'm pretty much set on how I did a lot of my stuff. So yeah, we're going to take it to Future Kira here and wrap up the video.
All right, everyone, and that's pretty much it. Well, okay,
I'll show you one more thing. Again, I have it in another harnessing video where it's just a general overview, but I'll just give you a glimpse at the magnet mounts, or just basic magnet mounts modeled by Plentiful Props 3D. I'll have a link down below to the files. You literally just mount some bar magnets onto it, and then boom, there you go. Like I said, links will be down below for everything that I use in this video, so that way it helps you piece together all the pieces that you need for your harnessing systems, like Velcro, like nylon straps, buckles, like the magnets, all that stuff that you really need. Because it's not too many components, it's mostly just about what suits your needs, which leads into another thing. So I did not really show you very well on how I did every single little thing on the suit, and that is because every single cosplay armor, whether that's just a different Iron Man suit or a Master Chief or whatever that armor may be from, they are going to be designed differently, that are going to require different types of methods to figure out. So what I'm trying to give you here is a starting point to help you try and figure out how you want to start trying things on how to harness your thing, because this process is really a lot of trial and error to see what works best for you. And even when you complete the suit and down the line you're like, ah, man, I don't think this is working too well for me, or this could be a lot better, so let me try something else. There is a billion ways to do this, and none of them are wrong and none of them are right either. It's all dependent on what your particular armor needs and what you need, or what you think is easier to put on or mount or whatever. There is a billion variables in this, so it would be kind of pointless for me to show you how every single thing was done on the suit. So take this video as a stepping point if you have no idea how to make a harnessing system or anything like that. This will hopefully at least give you an idea of how you want to start approaching things. So yeah, I really hope you did find at least some of this informative, because again, this is not like the most in-depth video in the series. It's basically just get you started. And yeah, I hope any of this information was useful to you. If so, please leave a like and comment down below what this might be helping you with, or what armor you're building that you're planning to use some of these systems on. Or just if you want to say hi, and if you like pizza, I don't care. I like the engagement. And so does YouTube. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I have a lot more videos on the Mark 40 on my channel, as well as some other Iron Man videos, well, just like other cosplay related videos in general, where I try to teach you guys some things, or like I just review things I just really like because I'm a freaking nerd. Go follow me on my Instagram where I post all my cosplay pictures, and go to my TikTok, stuff like that, just to watch the same things that I upload on YouTube Shorts, just on a different place. And remember to not forget to check out the sponsors of this build series: Polymaker for some beautiful filament, DO3D for some awesome files, and then Print Costumes if you need a Spider-Man suit or just a spandex suit in general, whatever your needs may be. Check out all those people down below. They are all awesome for helping make this project possible. And until next time, where I learn how to harness an Iron Man suit to be able to, you know what, I'm just gonna stop right there. We've had enough mom jokes. All right, see you later.